Well, listen, I've been a while since I've been on. I did do a video not that long ago, but I figured I would do another video um, regarding the person. Well, it's not really about her. It's a point to be made about some of us um, in these black community, so quote unquote, and the feelings that people have about Caitlin Clark as far as her impact on the WNBA. Now, let me say this: a lot of us, you know, and I hate to do this, right? Because it's just annoying. Because I know that, I mean, I don't, not that I really give a damn. I don't really give a shit because I know I'm right. But you know what? I just hate to say this, but let's just get out in the open. You know, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, let's be honest. A lot of you black folks, she can't win for losing. It's a no win. You guys, some of us have really made this into a no win situation for Caitlin Clark. Now, with all the race baiting that's going on about the publicity that she gets and the contract she gets and the attention she gets and you know this back and forth that we got going on about whether it's racially motivated and all this other stuff. I'm gonna tell you, some of y'all really make it impossible for a white person not to be racist. It's basically a situation where you know I'm gonna try to look at this. Obviously, I'm not a white person and I'm not a white female, but I'm gonna try to look at this from the other side of the coin here. Here's a girl who broke the NCAA scoring record, right? Which is that's a feat within itself. Okay. Not to mention that she brought her team to back to back finals, right? College finals, college championship games. Now, okay, yeah, she didn't win either one of them, but the fact of the matter is, okay, and people can sit there and argue and go tip for tat all they want to. But the truth of the matter is, I don't think that Iowa's recruiting as a whole is probably as hefty maybe as South Carolina or LSU or some of these other big schools, UConn, for example. I mean, these schools, and Tennessee, maybe, these are schools that have been established to where kids will want to go to that school just to be part of tradition of winning, right? Because they've already proven themselves. So they don't have a hard time getting good players. Doesn't mean they can win the championship every year. But the thing about it is, I would say that obviously there had to be some talent to get as far as they got. But let's be real. When I looked at the stats, right, how many points that Caitlin Clark scored, and not just the points she scored, but points that she was either assisting in or involved in, she's basically, at least at some points, she's responsible for 70% of offense, whether she shoots it or not. I mean, and this is as the point guard as well, right? So it's like, you accomplish these feats, right? You don't win, but guess what? You go 2 years in a row to the finals, right? You get to the Final Four, you know, you do well. I mean, with probably a less talented again stacked team as a lot of these other teams, and definitely less stacked than South Carolina from what I saw. Okay, but they still made it there. Now with her and her leadership. Okay, so here's a white girl here, right? She's considered to be the best basketball player in college and the number one draft in WNBA, right? Now the thing about it is, there's a lot of people that's complaining and crying and saying, well, she got there because she's white and all that stuff. So the white girls play NBA. Guess what? Didn't get as much publicity as Caitlin Clark did. Okay? Diana Taurasi's white. Did Tatiana Taurasi get that kind of publicity? Look, she played for UConn, won probably I think a few championships with Gino Ariema. Okay, so she's got she's got a championship, and I think she has a championship in WNBA, maybe a few there too. So at the end of the day, Diana Taurasi's definitely made some accomplishments in her basketball career, college and in the pros, right? But she did not get the same time buzz that Caitlin Clark did. So people talk about how unfair it is. That's the market. And what a lot of youth Negroes don't realize is people are going to support who they want to support. They're going to put their money behind who they want to. You know what? Only thing you can do is do the same thing. You can't shame folks into wanting to give you something, okay? That doesn't work. It may work in some super liberal corners that really, truth be told, just basically throw you a few bones to shut you up. They're not really giving you none of the substance. But some of y'all seem to think that's still a win, and it really, in essence, it's not at all. It's just like giving your dog a treat for being good for a little bit longer. It's basically what I equate that to. Right? But the fact of the matter is, the girl's just playing basketball. The girl hasn't said anything, but it's like you got people taking shots. You got, other players or ex-players, throwing shade at her. Never did anything. Never said anything about these people. And you got, Angel Reese taking down low shots and then deleting it, and then her mother come out and then basically playing, oh, you're racist if you think that she did this tweet against or throwing shit like she, like, for one, like, you're you're gonna cover for your daughter, sis, so you telling us that isn't really come with a whole lot of credibility, because easily people could just look at that and say, oh yeah, of course you're gonna defend her daughter. Does that mean she didn't mean what she said? She deleted it. Apparently she knew something. She knew something wasn't right with that tweet. That's why she took it down. Let's be real. But just all these down low shots. And you know what? It's like a lot of us that are actually happy to see her fail. And you know what? That just makes us look petty. That's really what it does. Okay? You people can try to make Caitlin Clark this symbol of hate all you want to. Girl, only thing I've seen so far from her, she wants to play basketball and wants to be the best player she possibly can be. And you know what? If she's not starting out with a great record, fine. Guess what? Everybody's path isn't going to be the same. Because you got a lot of naysayers that just want, so the minute they have an opportunity, like to see that she doesn't succeed at something, they want to say, see, she's not what they. I mean, it's just so much. I mean, people can claim it's not jealousy. Some of it may not be, but a lot of it is. And it's ridiculous. It really just makes us look petty. It really does. It makes us petty and pretty pathetic, really, because look, this girl still might end up being one of the best players ever played a game in the WNBA, okay? This is her rookie year. And guess what? If we know in all sports, not everybody starts out with a breakthrough rookie year. Some people take a few years to develop. Depends on the position they're playing or what's being demanded of them, and basically being able to understand how the game works in the new environment that they're in. And just maybe the transition was easier for Angel Reese being that she's playing in a bigger position than it is for Caitlin Clark having to be basically, the basketball version of a quarterback on the field there. Having to be able to run offenses, being able to, do a lot of different things. Now there's some things that Caitlin Clark even has to improve on. And I think one of the knocks on her was she wasn't that big on defense. Well, she's going to have to learn to play that in the WNBA if you're going to be that effective. See, so guess what? She already knows that she has weaknesses, but that doesn't mean that the strength she has is not going to help her overcome those weaknesses. But guess what? If this brings more eyes to the NBA, or the WNBA, and this brings more marketing, you know what? Let me just bring this up real quick. I read in one sister's comment section where somebody had the nerve to say, well, when they were saying all that stuff, Caitlin Clark should have said something instead of, and had showed some humility, right? So what you're saying is that Caitlin Clark should have told all the media hype people to knock it off and downplay her own marketability. That's what you asked her to do? Would you have asked anybody else to do that? Would you suggest? I mean, you think that's a smart business move? If other people are hyping you up, guess what? Let them do it. They're just helping you, making your profitability that much higher. That's all they're doing. And guess what? It's like she's going out here paying people to do it. They're doing it for whatever reason they want to do it for. And you know what? What she should do is ride the bandwagon. That's how she got this shoe deal that she got. That's how she got some stuff. And I'm gonna tell you something. This whine and complain about Caitlin Clark might get a little bit more and all this treatment. Let me tell you something. That really just shows people that for all that you say about those same people you used to claim about them being racist, I tell you one thing, you're not making a good case for yourself. You're making yourself out to be a hypocrite because if you're holding one white girl responsible for the racism of this entire country, basically you're using her as a symbol of disdain. She didn't have to be. Why? Because she's good at basketball. I'm sure she didn't get to be the top scorer in college basketball because she was white, especially since she was on a predominantly white team. And even if she wasn't, I don't think that the team would have said, "Hey, well, let's let this white girl be the top scorer. Let's just part the Red Sea, block for her, let her shoot all she wants." I mean, come on, folks. Really, some of us got to knock it off. Look, is Angel Reese a good basketball player? Does she deserve to be in the WNBA? Sure, she does. I think sometimes she runs her mouth a little too much, to be honest. Says things that she don't need to say. She has the right to say. She can say, "I said what I said," and all this other stuff. Well, you know what? Say what you want to say, but guess what? People have the right to respond how they want to respond, too. At the end of the day, they don't have to be nice about it, and they don't have to, be concerned about what your sensibilities are, or what your threshold is about what they say about you, right? I mean, really, a lot of these girls are really just cutting their nose off, spite their face, instead of just saying, "Let this girl be successful." I'm not saying hand her anything, but say basically, stop trying to throw shit on her, like as if she deserves it for being good, apparently. Because at the end of the day, guess what? You can't say that it's all about race because the girls scored the most points of men and women in college basketball for a career, or individual career. And her shooting percentage was not crappy. And guess what? She can do a lot of different things. And she's just going to have to learn and develop to be, the type of player she needs to be in WNBA. Her game's got to evolve like anything else. You know what I'm saying? I think that the role that she has is a bigger role than what Angel Reese has. I'm sorry. And not to mention the fact that Angel Reese is on the team has got another big girl, that Camila Cardoso, who's big as hell. So, I mean, look, they already got a pretty big line right there between probably their 3 and 5 right there. They got some size. Okay. Between their forwards and their center. And the thing about Angel Reese is that she's versatile because she's good at stealing the ball too. So she opens up defensively. So defensively, she's better than she's not just a shot blocker. She can also steal the ball. So no one said the girl ain't got no talent. I just think that some things she does isn't. Some things or some behaviors are unnecessary. I will say that. But again, it is what it is. But come on, folks. Some point here you got to say, listen. And there's all these comment sections, all these different YouTubers, content creators doing stuff about this, and look, that girl can't say nothing. Think about this. That girl cannot even say anything in her defense because you know what? It's one of those things where no matter what she says, if she tries to lash back, she would be considered racist. Because she doesn't say anything, she would be considered playing along with it. I mean, really, where is there a fair ground with some of y'all folks? You don't want one. That's what it comes down to. You don't want to see her succeed based on some of your own biases. I mean, let's talk about other people's. And let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. If the WNBA is able to get more publicity because of Caitlin Clark, guess what? Just like they said, that means everybody gets more money out of it at the end of the day. It's like Conor McGregor in the UFC. Now people can sit there and make the case, well, Conor McGregor won some championships, but he never defended them. Yeah, that's true. You're right, he never defended them. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I think some of those fights, not saying Conor didn't win, but I will say that UFC did handpick some fights for him. I'm sorry. I watched for a long time, and I tell you right now, I think when he fought Chad Mendes, that fight was kind of handpicked for him because I think he was supposed to fight somewhere else, and they let him fight Chad Mendes, which is a big wrestler, short but strong, right? And Conor won that fight, TKO'd him. But I can tell you, they wouldn't give him Frankie Edgar, and that guy's a guy that pretty much trains all year round. I don't know about now. If he's not retired, he's pretty close to it. He got knocked out enough times in the last so many years he's been fighting him. He got knocked out by Brian Ortega, knocked him out. Corey Sandhagen knocked him out. Somebody else, I think, TKO. Somebody else did. So, it might just be about time. But anyway, let me get off of that. I digress. But at the end of the day, the girl's just playing basketball. And you know what? All this negative press that y'all want to give her, it says really more about you than it does her. Now, if she says something, then fine. If she says something you think is out of line, fine. But it's like y'all want her to. So you can justify all your vitriol for her. Which still don't excuse your behavior. It don't. Because at the end of the day, you know what? She's a human being. And maybe she might resent the idea that she feels like her whole career and success has been ratcheted up to her being white. Let's just imagine that. Think about how, in a way, that makes her feel. All the hard work she's probably done, okay, throughout her young years in basketball is going to be belittled by the idea that, well, she's white. So, of course, she's going to get more than the rest of us. Do you think maybe she earned her place? I don't think they handed her the scoring record. I sure don't think that the NCAA handed her the opportunity to win a championship twice. So let's just, let's get honest, people. Guess what? We know what country we live in. We know what the culture is. We know what world we live in. We know that when it comes to a market, the market is the one that determines value, whether you agree with it or not. And that includes Caitlin Clark, includes anybody. So, focusing your anger on Caitlin Clark and wishing for her downfall isn't it. That's not going to change anything. And what it's going to do is expose you folks for being petty and hypocrites and bigots yourself. That's all it's going to do. So, all this jealousy and pettiness and virtual signaling, not going to change how business works. Because as they say, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And regardless of what race you are, if you were running a business and you have a girl who you can make $50 million off of, and you have another girl who can only make $10 million off of, what's the common? I mean, really, that's simple math. And the person that you can get $10 million off of may be the same race you are. But do you say, well, heck, I'm going to go with them because they're the same race? But then the person who actually can pull me more, I'm not going to cater to that person. I'm going to say, well, there's two, she's white, so I'm not going to try to get in a contract with her or try to promote her or anything when I know that she's going to be able to pull some revenue. That's just stupid, man. That's another reason why some of you Negroes are broke and going to stay broke. Let's just call it what it is. Because you got that mentality. Okay? People don't owe you their money. They're not obligated to you their money. Now, you can talk about reparations. That's another conversation. But I'm talking about just in the general market and business. People don't owe you their money. It's that you owe those people you want money from to give them a reason to give you their money. So you owe them to give them a reason, or give them enough reasons that they should give you their money versus other people. And guess what? Still might not be good enough. Listen, I was a salesman for enough years. I know people have biases. Absolutely. What are you going to do about it? Because guess what? You're not going to shame these people into giving you anything. Now, maybe some of these woke companies that, giving out contracts because they know that they've been hypocrites in the past. But see, that's what people don't understand. Like, for example, look how Kyrie Irving got done by Nike over something that wasn't actually anti-Semitic at all. But still, because the reception was such, they went and backed this nonsense up. So then they let Kyrie out of his sneaker contract because of that, right? Now he can't have no sneaker company of his own probably to begin with, so screw it, right? I mean, but then he gets into another position, I guess, with the whole thing that they gave, whatever they gave this person. Oh, and then they turn around and gave some other, because some other people said, oh, you've been playing basketball and you give this girl, guess what? It's their money. I mean, back who they want to back. Like, this is what I'm talking about. That's why I hear saying DEI didn't earn it. That's why they're saying that. Because there's some truth to it. It's not that it's all true, but it's truth to it. Okay? You can't just say, well, just give me some. This whole professional victim culture that we got is not producing a profitable society. It's not. I'm telling you, it won't. It never will. Because it's not being done based on real merit. It's being done based on identity politics. Come on, man. That means you can't look at competence as the first thing. You can't. Now, people can argue that some people are naturally biased, and even though two people might be competent, they're going to lean this way. Yeah, we can have an argument, but at the end of the day, this idea that, you have folks in Congress accusing folks of race baiting somebody over insulting them for having fake eyelashes, as if black women are the only ones that wear fake eyelashes. Imagine that. Just saying stuff because you don't want to be challenged, or you know what I mean? So right off the bat, you play the position of victim. The same way here, right? Kelly Clark's not playing the victim at all, and she probably could if she really wanted to. But some of you folks just want to keep on, and finding some ways to fault her for what? Not playing the game how you want to, or not, giving you some apology for being a white girl and being, marketable as becoming as marketable as she did. Oh, the media, they gave her all publicity. She got that publicity from Iowa, first of all, folks. That's where she got the publicity from. That's how she got where she is now, because of how she played in college. And the publicity that she probably brought to Iowa, especially the girls' team. And there's proof. I think there's statistics out there showing how much money did come to the games because of her. So this idea that these people are somehow just racist and sex, and that they don't want to give these other players the money that they gave her for contracts for sneaker deals that they may not, they might have felt was proper, which they know some people are going to support her. Because a lot of it is the fact they know that Caitlin Clark's going to get the backing. And do you realize, some of you folks, by you saying the stuff you saying about Caitlin Clark, the people you criticize for supporting her, you're actually giving them more reason to support her. Because what all that's going to do is give her more money. So whatever, if you think this is a strategy of trying to bring her down a couple of pegs, you're wrong. She's going to end up making more money because of your disdain. All right? And the one thing her family or whoever's advising her is doing is telling her to stay clear away from the race stuff. Stay away from it. Stay away. And I know some of it's frustrating and it's not fair. Stay away from it because they're trying to bait you into it. Because again, and they're going to probably say, because you got folks that want you to destroy your career because they want to take their anger, angst out on you for something that you had nothing to do with. So listen, folks, I figured I would do this video because it's been a while, and I gotta tell you, if anybody does watch this video, do me a favor. Look at the last few videos I did. At least put me some views on there or something, because I don't know if YouTube is shadow banning my channel or what, but this is coming off pretty bad. And I'm not on here all the time, but at the end of the day, I will do more content. But People gotta at least show up, give me a reason. You know, if I'm gonna do them, if I'm gonna start doing them frequently again. You know, it's that simple. But anyway, I'm not a major WNBA fan, to be honest, with still to this day, regardless of Kelly Clarkson here or not. But the moral of this story was basically that we're not doing ourselves any favors, people, by going on attacks, making excuses for one, and going on attack on another. And let me just say this too: y'all can love whoever you want, love whatever player. You can love injuries. I don't care. Again, I agree with something Andrew Reese has said, and a lot of y'all want to make excuses for it when there ain't none. And I'll tell you something else too. I know this is going to be controversial, but I don't care. I didn't think it was very classy for Angel Reese to be rubbing up behind Meg Thee Stallion with her tongue out, because first of all, I wouldn't like if it was my daughter. I don't like the suggestion. I don't. And I'm gonna tell you something. If I was to see Caitlin Clark doing something like this, I'd say the same thing. But some of y'all would give Angel Reese a pass. It shows you how much hypocrite you are. You know, but you know what you want to do? You want to bog down as if, you know, Caitlin Clark got in a lab with a bunch of racist white sponsors and said, hey, you know what, we're going to promote you because we want a white girl to be a top basketball player. And the thing y'all don't even seem to understand is, you know, people are going to attach to what they're going to attach to. Some of the people that are from a small town are going to look at her as a role model and say, yeah, it's kind of like Larry Bird, right? They're going to say, this white dude comes from a small town in French Lick, Indiana, right? There's like probably like 300 people in the whole town. And then he gets to become an NBA legend. I mean, think about it. That's a real story, guys. It's a real story. That's a real success story. And what that does is really express the American dream in a diverse way. Now, I know that, of course, there's going to be some folks going to say, oh, it's, of course, the success of a white male, a straight white male, Christian white male. Some of you folks need to just, like, really, we all need to get over it, man. You're trying to create a society of strict equality. It's impossible, because everybody's not going to be equal on all levels. So this is an unrealistic dream. If you think that that's going to ever happen, what you need to do is just need to get on your P's and Q's, do what you got to do. And guess what? At the end of the day, they can't deny you in the long run. So you can't just expect that, well, because of something that happened. It's not that simple, not in this day and age. So again, that's why I said the conversation about reparations is a different thing. But just out of this idea that you're just entitled to other people's resources and attention, that's ridiculous, guys. That's ridiculous. I mean, it just look. If this girl does good, she don't. If she flops, she flops. If she becomes a success, some of y'all still gonna be quiet and in the back hating. I know it. But hey, all I can say is, personally, I hope that Caitlin Clark sets out to be. I mean, listen, I can't determine whether she's going to be the best player in WNBA. Can't determine any of that stuff. But at the end of the day, hope the girl is able to have the success that she want to find, win the elusive championship that she tried to reach in college, and maybe she gets a chance to reach it here. It's not going to happen all 1 year, folks. And things can always go the other way sometimes with people. So, you know, she got a bad year this year, then end up being MVP next year. So, you know, don't sleep on this girl. This girl's a hard worker. She's very competitive. She's going to be one of the better players in the league. I think you can pretty much put a guarantee on that. Close you can. Doesn't mean she's going to be necessarily the best, but she's going to be one of the best. So they're not going to lose money on her. But all this hate, it's not going to, and all this nonsense, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything but just make critiques of who it's coming from look like a bunch of hypocrites and haters. We just gotta let the chips fall as they may. Okay? And give her a fair chance, just like you want people to give Andrew Reese and other players in the league a fair chance. You know, that's all. What is that? I mean, there's no. I mean, you can't ask any more than that from people. But all this throwing shade and all this other stuff is just nonsense. It's low vibration, among other things. But with that, I'm gonna let y'all go. Black Bushido, and I think we are, Black Bushido, and we're gone.